In this video, we're going to have a look at some ways to improve on these kind of built-in native subds that exist inside of Maya. And actually to do that, we're going to hop back a tab to the Polygon tab. And we're going to use regular polygonal objects in order to make the actual subdivision surfaces that we'll be working with. So let's start by taking a cube, and we'll drop in a cube. I'm going to turn on my grid snap for the moment. That's up here with the little magnet and the grid, so that I can just click down a nice little cube in the middle of the scene here, and let's give ourselves some shading by pressing the 5 key. Then I'm going to turn grid snap off, so any editing that I do won't be stuck snapping to my grids. So if I want to get something that is subd'd out of this, I can actually simply press the 3 key. So every 4-sided polygon has been cut into 4, and then every one of those has been cut into 4 more polygons. So really we have a 4x4 grid in the space of each existing polygon, and that gives us something nice and smoother to work with. Now, the real joy of working with this as far as subdivision surfaces comes in the fact that this is much more editable on a polygonal level. You still have access to all of the different mesh editing tools, and you get a host of other tools that just come with the built-in polygonal meshes. So if I go over here to Polycube 1, I'm going to change my subdivisions on height and width up to, let's go to 3x3. There we go. And now you can see that I've got something that is a little bit more cubed off, right? So I'm going to go ahead and unsubdivide that, or turn the preview off. And I'm going to go to my edges, and let's just grab this edge here. So double click on that edge to get the whole loop, and I'm going to move it way up towards the top. So it's getting really close to the top edge there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and press the 3 key again. And now, let's go back to our object mode. Now you can see that I've got a much tighter edge there around the top. Like I said, all of this editing that we would do on normal polygons totally exists here. So I can take these edges and move them back in. I can scale them, and it's much less cumbersome than going in and actually working with the hole that exists on the outside of subdivision surface objects that come here in this native kind of subdiv tab. All right, so that gives you the basic idea here. Let's have a look at some additional examples. So I'm going to go ahead and let's just go to Objects and click and delete that guy. Then I'm going to go to my cylinder here, and I'm going to create a nice cylinder. And oops, I didn't have my grid snap off, so it's off-centered a little bit. I'm just going to center that up for cleanliness sake. And then let's go in here, and I'm going to press the 3 key to subdivide this. And you can see it starts to get a little bit lumpy and wavy up around the top here. Not exactly what I want to have happen. So I'm going to go up to my Edit Mesh menu, and I'm going to choose Insert Edge Loop. And I'm just going to click and drag one there, and I'm going to click and drag one down there. And now again, we'll go back to our object mode, and you can see I've really reduced the amount of pulling that's happened around the top edge there. So now I can go in here, and let's select this object again, and let's go back up to Edit Mesh. And once again, I'm going to do Insert Edge Loop here, and I'm going to put a loop right there, and then I'm going to go to my Offset Edge tool here, because I can do this with all of my different polygon editing tools. And I'm just going to add a couple of edges out there. I'm going to switch over to Faces and select Edge Loop. Let's go to Faces there and select an edge loop, and yeah, now I'm going to go up again to Edit Mesh, Extrude, and if I pull this out, you can see that I can edit this on a much more interesting level, and I get a lot of control over this because I'm really just editing a polygonal object that, if I unsubdivide that, looks like this. And all I'm doing is taking this polygonal guide and turning that into subdivision surfaces to work with in order to gain the smoothness qualities of subdivision surfaces without having to deal with some of the cumbersome tools that exist inside the subdivision surface native tools here inside of Maya. So there you go. Improved on subdivision surfaces based on subds, but doing something more complex using the polygonal tools inside of Maya.